edition of Gatton CNC Live. Hope everybody's doing well today on this Wednesday. Got a couple of things I want to talk about before I get started showing the wiring setup back here. First of all, let me say hello to some folks, see who's over here. Yeah, we got a few folks hanging out. Got Troy, Big D's in the house, Russ Meadows, hope you're ready for Delta. Let's see, Paul Stewart, Gary Long, Dale is here, Steve from Cornell Media, Mario, Craig Euler, Kevin Els, a few more from the Robert Sands, Cello. My mic is not great today. Okay, let's make sure it's on the right microphone. Oh, you know what? Somehow. How about now? How is it? Looks like it got switched a while ago somehow. So let me see if, let me make sure. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's on that one now. Should be better now. Let me know if it's not. Sounds great, says Big D. Okay, I think it just got, what happened is that it got switched and it was picking up the microphone and the webcam, and those things have really crappy microphones. But I don't know how this one got, well, I did a virus scan a while ago. Maybe that messed it up somehow. I don't know. Anyway, I want to mention something because I know we have got, since last year, we have got a ton of new, what I'll call Gattoneers, or people that have built Gatton CNC machines. So I wanted to, they may be brand new and don't know about what I'm about to say. But anyway, I just want to remind folks that today is 51 days until the start of the 2020 Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge. So if you don't know what that is, I have a playlist. You can go back and watch that, but it's where it's a challenge for everybody to get out in their shop, use their CNC, especially their Gatton CNC, to make a Christmas themed project, shoot a short video of it, try to make them at least 2 or 3 minutes long. They don't have to be real extravagant, try to keep them under 10 minutes, but at least 2 or 3 minutes long. And, submit the link to me, and then we'll go from there. But the official start of the Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge is always on Black Friday, which is the day after Thanksgiving. It falls on November 27th this year. And I know some of you may be thinking, oh, Dave, come on, it's only October. Well, I think I started talking about it in August last year, and there were still some people that said, man, I ran out of time. I didn't get a chance. So, so you got plenty of time. You can start now if you want. It's just at the official start. Don't worry about sending me a link or anything until Black Friday, because I won't be doing anything until it kicks off then. And we usually have, last year when I talked with Mike at Klingspor, he said, yeah, whenever because I sent him a letter and an email and asked him, if he wanted to be a sponsor. He said, yeah. I said, you can just count on us every year. So we'll have him as a sponsor. And then I always kick in some, gift cards or Amazon gift cards or Visa gift cards or whatever. So anyway, so be thinking about that. I thought about it several times, and then I thought I should have mentioned it Wednesday, and I never remember, but I wrote it down this time. But anyway, just wanted to let you know. Okay, we are going to be talking about, man, I didn't even set this screen share up. I'm so slacking today here. We're going to be talking about the wiring setup using this very inexpensive, simple breakout board. It's basically a parallel port. They call it a parallel port interface card, you know, commonly known as a breakout board. But I've got one set up here. The wiring is a little different. You know, we did about, I think, what does this show? The 10th or 11th, I think. I think on show number 5, we did the one where we did this USB card right here. And there are some differences. In fact, I like this setup better. This is what I run on my Gatton CNC. I have something very similar. It's not quite the exact same breakout board, but it's pretty similar to this right back there. But one reason why I really like this board is because I have, trying to get all these things set up here. This is one of the boards where a gentleman by the name of Robert Adams did a video, and he did an outstanding drawing. And I've got in the bottom of if you go down to if you're watching on YouTube, and I think practically all of you are, all but 3 of you looks like, there's a link to his YouTube video where he explains this drawing right here. And this is one of the best drawings I've seen anywhere on YouTube or anywhere on the web. But he uses, he explains this drawing, and he has like this drawing on a big whiteboard, and he goes through step by step, as well as shows you the wiring. I think he's got his all kind of mounted like in a drawer where he pulls it out. But this is a surefire way, if you're one of those DIY guys that want to do the wiring and stuff yourself, this is a perfect way. And like I said, this board is cheap. I bought it off of Amazon. I paid $27, and then I looked this morning, and if you buy it from, let's see if I put a, did I put a thing on here? No, I didn't. If you buy it from this place, I'll put the web address here. Okay, I think I got that right. Yeah, this is the web address, and you guys may have shopped here before. It's www.cnc4pc.com. You can get that exact same card for like $23 there. So it's really cheap, and it's easy to wire. And you got an excellent video with Robert's video, as well as an excellent drawing that he did. But I'm going to step aside here, and I will bring up my Mach 3 here. And I guess I need to, let's see, how do I need to do this? Yeah, we'll do it like that. But as I click over here on this is just a short little test program. And this board is a little different. You notice there's some things on here now that I just left on here from the last time when I was using this other card. But I'm not using them for this. I've got this little terminal block that I had set up. I don't have anything connected to it now. I also had another one over here. There's nothing connected to this. Even this right here is a 24-volt power supply, and I'm not using a 24-volt power supply. And you can see I left it on here, and it's still wired up as far as powering on, but there's no wires coming out of it here, so I'm not using it. I thought I had a 5-volt power supply, one of these small ones like this, And when I came out here yesterday evening and started to wire this up, I realized this isn't a 5 volt, it's a 12 volt. So I had to scrounge around, and you can see up here I've got two black wires, and that's actually coming from a Motorola cell phone charger that I just cut the plug off and used my meter to figure out which one's which, and then wired it in. So that's where I'm getting my 5 volts from to power the outputs and stuff on the board. Like I said, this is really simple. This right here, this yellow and white is simply going to, let me get my glasses so I don't misread them here. Okay, the yellow wire is going to the one that says 5 volts, and then the white one is down here on pin number 12. And you can see that is operational. So you basically set your, if you had limit switches or homing switches, a touch plate, all that stuff, you would set that up right here too, because you got pin 15, you got a 13, and then down here some more inputs. You got 10 and 11. So there's the pin and the 5 volt thing right next to each other, so easy to connect. If you got any outputs, like if you wanted to hook up a, maybe something to turn your router off and on, a little relay, you can connect that over here with these outputs. But the difference before, I now have 3 wires, because like right here, this is my X, my Y, my Z, and my A. And it's basically a blue, red, and yellow combination all the way across here. And the blue is the pulse, which is going to the pin 2, which in Mach 3 is the step. And then the yellow is coming out of here for the direction. So it's going to pin 3. And then the common for each one of those is in the middle. And if you remember when I ran this other board the other week, there isn't room for that. You put you put the step and direction here, but then you got to put the other one for the 24 volts. Or no, it's actually 5 volts. So that's what I had here. So all these red wires that I've now got going paired up with the yellow and blue, the step and direction, they were going here to this other one last time. That's why I'm not using any of those. But like I said, this is a really simple setup. It's very inexpensive. And there's a couple of advantages, I think, to using a setup like this. One, you'll notice I've got just a parallel cable stuck in the top of this because that's what it has. It's got a parallel port. But I'm not actually using a computer with a parallel connection. I'm using a USB connection, and I've got it going to that UC100 that's down here. So one of the advantages is with a card like this, as opposed to this one where you can only run it with Mach 3, this one, I can run this one with Mach 3, which you can see that's what I'm got it running with right now. Or you could also, since I have the UC100, you could run it with UC CNC software. So I could run this with either one of those control software, whichever one I like the best. So that's one advantage. Another advantage that it might not be a big deal to some people, but I have been doing this a long time, and I guess I'm out of the thing here, but it don't matter. It's always, I've always been used to doing this. So if you watch all these things, one thing you couldn't do with that other board, the USB board, is you had to move each axis to jog it. You had to jog one at a time. But with this one, I can make all of them go at the same time. And I've always liked that because the way I do my machine, it's not parked where it should be now, but when I home it, it goes to the back right. Well, every time I'm bringing it, I'm making a diagonal move to here where it usually starts. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to have to just move one a little bit and then move another one a little bit. Whereas when you're using this kind of setup, you can move all the axis at the same time without any issues. So Big Al says, nope, I still have the X. Can I still enter? If you can get it to make something. We've never, I've always kind of, I probably will be a little bit more strict because last year we had some entries that were just, technically they're CNC, but not really as far as I'm concerned. When I say CNC, I mean a CNC router type machine. We have some people do 3D printing, which is technically CNC and all that, but CNC routers is what I want to see, especially if you got a Gatton CNC. But yeah, you could do it with that X whatever if you can get it to make something. He says the power supply on the board looks like the power supply on my 3D printer. Yeah, it's probably the same kind of deal. I really like this one. This is the one that's got the adjustable knob right there. And like I said, this is a 24 volt, but I'm not even using it for this setup. I just didn't bother taking it off of there. But other than that, if anybody's got any questions, I can show a close-up. I think I got this picture right here that I took when I was doing this board. So basically you can see the wiring configuration here. The only difference is now, see how this red wire, let's see, I better use my mouse over here so y'all can see it. This red wire is kind of going off by itself, that's stuck in where that little loop is, that little jumper wire. It's all going here. It's going right up here to the different commons right here. And then there's also a jumper that you have to make sure you set. And Robert mentions that in his video, and it's showing on his driver. You have to make sure that you have it set the right way so that it's getting the 5 volts off of there. So anyway, this is all the same as the other one. This is all, these 4 on the far left over here, the yellow, black, blue, and red are going out through these holes and are tied into the stepper drivers in the back on the other side of this board. There's the 2, this heavier red and black ones right here. That's the ones that's coming from this little terminal block here, which is getting its 48 volts, or I guess 47.1. It comes down into this terminal block and it splits off and goes to each one of the drivers. And then like I said, you got these over here. So still pretty basic. And this is really easy way. I think it's like I said, if you want to do it, I think this is a perfect setup if you're wanting to do your own wiring, but you may not really know how to do it. But if you use these components, and it doesn't really matter which drivers, they're going to be pretty much the same. His drawing, I think, had oh, here it is. His drawing shows DM556Ds. I'm using DM542Ts. The wiring's the same, but like I said, if you wire it and want to use these components, especially this breakout board, which, like I said, it's $23, you shouldn't have any issues because he's got it laid out, all color coded, This is one of the best drawings I've seen. And if you want to find this drawing, like I said, there's a link to his YouTube video down in the description. Click on that show more and go all the way to the bottom, and you'll see where it says My Robert Adams Video. That's his YouTube channel name. And then when you go there, he's got a link to a Dropbox where you can get this drawing. Okay, yeah, Rob brings up a good point. You be able to run Linux as well as UC CNC and Mach 3. Whereas again, you're just kind of tied into Mach 3 when you run these USB motion controller. The difference is too, this is a motion controller. It's not a breakout board or interface board. I should point that out, that they're not the same. That you still need now if you're running parallel using an old computer, you could run parallel to it and that would be all you need. But in my case, since I'm using USB, let's see if I can pull this up here without losing the connection. This is what I'm using. I've got the UC 100, which this black wire just goes back with a UC USB connector. And then you plug this in here to a parallel cable. I happen to have a real long one here. You don't have to have one that long. But so you can use either one. You can use a parallel port if you got an old clunker computer that's got one. Or if you don't and you're using a laptop, a lot of times they don't have parallel ports, you can use a USB. Just make sure if you're going to use a laptop, and I don't recommend laptops, I'm here to tell you right now. But if you're going to use a laptop, make sure you get all the internet updates, the virus protection, all the power saving stuff. There's just so much stuff on those laptops, so that's why I don't recommend using them with a CNC, is because they'll decide to power down or do something right in the middle of a run, and it's not much you can do if you didn't turn that stuff off. But yeah, Linux CNC, it would work fine with that as well. All right, I don't really have any questions or anything, so I guess we're good. He says I'm echoing. Am I still echoing, or is that? I think that was before. Okay. I don't see any questions. Does anybody have any questions about the Christmas challenge? This is going to be the fifth one. So if anybody, if you go, well, I'd like to enter, but I can't think of what I should make. I've got 4 years worth of playlists where you could go check the playlist out. It's on my, you're already here at my YouTube channel. Just go look for the playlist that says Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge, and you'll see all kinds of amazing projects that people have come up with to do. So, or just cruise Pinterest. There's all kinds of stuff on Pinterest and all that. Just make sure, if you're going to do something, don't go get something that's, an image that's copyrighted or something like that. You don't want to get in trouble for that. But there's lots of stuff out there to give you ideas for that. All right. Well, this was easy because nobody's got any questions. Like I said, it's really simple. You could probably watch this video or maybe it in combination with the number 5 that we did a few weeks back. and wire this from that. But no doubt the Robert Adams video is just, it's just great. That's all I can say about it, because he's got the best drawing, and he's going through step by step. And of course, he's even got extra stuff on here. He shows you how to do the homing switches, home limit switches. He's got like 3 e-stops, shows you how to wire those. He's got a 120 volt outlet that he's wiring. He's showing a 120 volt fan. I mean, he's actually got a lot more stuff on here. So there's really nothing. He's even got the illuminated switch like I have here. So there's nothing that you, let's see, it's got a question here. Are there no advantages to having the card be a motion controller instead of just a bob? Well, there are other motion controllers. I have like 3 of these. And these are out of the ones made by, let me think, that CNC4PC.com. They're a distributor for CNC Drive, I think is what it's called, www.cncdrive.com. And they're the ones that make the UC CNC software, as well as this is a UC 100. They make a UC 300. They make one that's Ethernet with an Ethernet connection, and they have a board and, inputs and outputs and stuff like that. I would say there is a little bit of an advantage of using some kind of a motion controller, even if it's a cheap one like that one down there, because that is what is sending the pulses now instead of your computer, and those things do a much better job. If you've got an old clunker computer and you're using a parallel port to run your machine, that's fine. But if you ever step up and get a motion controller like the UC 100, 300, or 400, or whatever, or even one of these, you'll never want to go back probably to just the parallel, because you'll notice a performance increase. Once you add a motion controller separate from your computer putting out those pulses. Dave Clemens says, so does the parallel operate the same with or without the UC 100, or is the UC 100 better? I think the UC 100 is better just because of what I just said. It's the motion controller that's sending the pulses out there. So, and the cool thing about that is with this, now I don't have to worry about having old technology like a parallel port. I can use any computer, because any computer is going to have a USB connection. So that's an advantage. But it will run if I wanted to do away with this, and I had an old, and I still got one in there that's got a parallel port. I could bring it out here and run it without that UC 100 in there, and it would run. But trust me, if you ever use one of those, you won't want to go back to the other. All right, I think we've been on here just over 30 minutes, which is about right. I guess we'll wrap this one up. I hope y'all will consider, getting involved with that Christmas challenge. We usually have, I don't know, somewhere between 15 and 20 entries, I guess, something like that. And I know it's 2020, and there's all kinds of weird stuff going on, but it has, we've had a ton of new people this year. 2020, although it's been a crazy year for everything else, it has been a really fantastic year for me as far as Gatton CNC. So I think we all still have an ancient PC hang. Yeah, they're everywhere. They are everywhere. But yeah, check out the playlist and get you an idea and think about getting in on that challenge. All right. Well, if nobody else has got any questions, yeah, Rob knows all about that challenge. He won it a few years ago. Yeah. Rob always has good stuff. Always has good stuff when he is. So thanks for the compliment there, Bart. Appreciate it. Hope y'all got something out of this. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, you know the drill. Hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell, and you get notified when I do these. I've been doing them every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and try to come up with different stuff to show you. I've still got another board. I don't know where I put it. I don't even remember what it is now. It's this one. Yeah, this one is a CNC interface board, ST-V3, and you'll notice it has the parallel connection. It also looks like it's got a little relay right here. So it's a little fancier than this one. And it's got the USB, but I'm pretty sure, I think that USB there is just to give it the 5 volts. I don't think it's for, and it looks like you can connect 5 volts right here on the end of it too, like if you got a power supply, which would probably be better than trying to use the USB. But anyway, so I've still got that one. I'll probably show that one eventually. And I've got all the drivers, a whole bunch of, I bought 4 more of these stepper online drivers, and I'm going to be buying a new board. I got to go get another piece of plywood. And instead of trying to change this one out, I'm going to be doing one on the Masso, because we do have some folks that ask about the Masso every once in a while. So I'll be doing some stuff with that. And I'm kind of looking forward to doing that, because they've come a long way since first sent me that thing 2 or 3 years ago. One reason why I used, I did, wired it up and played around with it some, but I didn't really stick with it because at the time they didn't have any touchscreen support. And I had just got a touchscreen and I really got used to it. And I still like them. But now it has all kinds of, it's 3 years later, so they've got a lot better documentation, and it'll do a lot more. So I'll be hooking that up. The only thing is, mine's 2 or 3 years old, so mine's a Gen 2 and not a Generation 3. They're up to the 3rd one. So, all righty, I'm going to get out of here, and thank y'all for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see y'all next week. Have a good one, guys.